Aloha everyone, it's Antonio Perez with HypnosisProductReviews.com. Today I'm interviewing Steve G. Jones from SteveGJones.com. We've been out here in Las Vegas for the HypnoThoughts convention. Now Steve, what's been your view of the convention?
It's been awesome. I mean, it's my first time coming to it. Of course, it's only their second year, but, I met Scott and Richard, great guys, both Richard Nongard and Richard Clark, a lot of Richards here. It's been, a really good, non-discriminatory, widespread buffet of just hypnosis stuff that's going on.
Oh, yeah. The one thing I like about this conference is people of all skill levels. You have a lot of people here that aren't even hypnotists. They're more, a lot of mentalists here. Saw a great class with Jeff McBride on magic and hypnosis. Saw one class about mentalism, and it all works together. One thing that I like about this, people call it hypnosis community. This conference gave it more of a feeling of a family.
Yeah.
There's people, like I've talked to you for probably like 3-4 years, and when you finally get to meet somebody, it's kind of cool. It's almost like a old family reunion.
It is, and there are a lot of things that are difficult to do because we get so caught up in email and Facebook communication. It's really hard to establish that real human connection unless it's in person. So this helps bridge that gap.
You were telling me that you moved up to Vegas. How long ago was that?
March 1st of last year.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, why did you decide to come out to Vegas?
No state income tax, which is great. Great airport. Usually good weather, except this time of year it's a little hot. It's close to California, great international airports, great natural stuff around here. You're not too far from Utah. You're not too far from the Red Rocks that are around here, Sedona. All of these things are within driving distance. So, and everyone you know will eventually come to Las Vegas. And here's an example.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely like Las Vegas, but I cannot wait to get in that plane, get back to Kauai, and actually land and smell. And know what air is supposed to smell like. Not like the.
We make it here. We manufacture it.
Pretty much. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get into hypnosis to begin with?
Well, I was in high school. My parents sent me to military school, Riverside Military Academy, Gainesville, Georgia. A lot of parents threaten to send their kids to military or boarding school if they're bad. My parents fall through with it, so there I was in military school. I was stuck. I was bored. I was hating it. I was hating life. I was hating everything. I wasn't participating in school. And then I got a book on hypnosis, The Complete Guide to Hypnosis by Leslie LeCron, a PhD psychologist who's no longer with us. It was a little paperback book. It was enough to get a kid started on his way, so I started hypnotizing my roommates. And eventually I learned I could use my powers for good. The smart kids came to me wanting to study more efficiently. The athletes wanted to exercise more efficiently. So that was in the early 80s when I was in high school. Now, all of these years later, it's the same thing, except the smart kids are NASA and the athletes are the Dodgers.
Yeah. But the one thing that I've seen in the hypnosis community, family, whatever you want to call it, is there's quite a few hypnotists that aren't making really good money. You're on, I would say, an elite level. There's a couple people that do really well. What do you think separates the people that are barely making it by and the people that are making at least a decent living with hypnosis?
Well, one thing I've noticed at the conference here is that a lot of hypnotists are where I was 15 years ago when I had my office in Beverly Hills. I was seeing clients. I was charging maybe $250 for the first 2-hour session. It was before I raised my rates, before I had a lot of products online. Cassette tapes weren't really cutting it. So once I started producing CDs and then MP3s and marketing them online, then doing affiliate marketing, that's what separated me financially from a beginning hypnotherapist. Now, there's anything wrong with that. If you still love seeing clients one-on-one, never stop that if you love it. But you've got to get online and get in with online marketing if you want to make that quantum leap.
Oh, yeah, by far. That's the one thing I wanted to ask you about. About a year ago, I think it was right after this conference, I started working on building a private practice. Then I realized that since we get paid for our time, if I get sick, I'm screwed. I can't make any money. I can't see clients for a week, 2 weeks, a month at a time. So I started getting into some online marketing. I'm not going to say what the niche for all the Brits. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a relationship market. And I found that the 3 top markets to be in are either health, relationships, or finance.
Yep.
Now, with the affiliate marketing, what tips could you give to people that want the hypnotists and change workers that want to get into affiliate marketing or internet marketing?
hypnotherapist want to get into it? I would, for us, it's been wealth products. And we do something with Joe Vitale, for example. I've got the Wealth Trigger 360 coming out soon. We did the Wealth Trigger 1, Wealth Trigger Reloaded, Wealth Trigger 360. People get a return on investment. That's why the internet marketing world makes so much money, because they're selling products and how to make money online. We don't really have that in the personal development space, the PD space as we call it. So the way to bridge that gap is to teach people about their possibilities. How can you manifest wealth in a realistic way? How can you make it happen? So for us, that's been the best, and that's really what I suggest. If money is your thing, if you're after making money, then that's fine. For me, I'm not after making money. After appearing on The Millionaire Matchmaker, people started looking at me as the millionaire hypnotherapist. So our product line naturally got skewed that way because people were wanting that from me.
No, actually, I told you I met, what's her name, Patty Stanger. She was on vacation 2 months ago, about half a year ago, and she was telling me, I think you guys are working, you're working on a project, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we have Attracting Soulmates that we do with Joe Vitale. And then Patty and I are currently working on a certification product where we're going to certify people for wealth creation, sort of like Joe and I did the Law of Attraction certification.
Yep.
Patty and I are going to do something similar to that. And then we also have other things in the works with Patty, another product with Patty and Joe in the works that's also financial related. So Patty's been wonderful because she's a great person. And she's fun to work with, and she's always got ideas, and she's like a kid. She's always excited about the next thing we're doing. So. You gotta have that enthusiasm and excitement. Yeah.
So I found out there was one niche I wanted to go into. I think it was something about helping stay-at-home or working-out moms get into affiliate marketing and whatnot. I had no passion for it. Absolutely, no. I'm sure you've done that. If you have no passion for something, you're not. Even if you follow through, it's going to be a job.
Right.
And you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate your boss, and it's not gonna work out.
Right. Do not create a job for yourself. Do something that you would enjoy doing, even if you weren't getting paid. Even if, believe it or not, even if I wasn't getting a dime for what I do, I would still do it because I love hypnotherapy. I love developing products. I love helping people.
So basically, would you say that is hypnotherapy something that you would almost pay to do because you have so much excitement for it?
Oh yeah. I'd go that far. I'd pay someone for the honor of being allowed to do it. Absolutely.
What other projects that you're working on now that you can talk about?
Let's see. We got the Wealth Trigger 360 coming out soon. I think that's our biggest one. We've got the little one, Patty, that I mentioned, which is a certification program for helping people believe in their financial abilities and to help clients with that as well. Those are the two major ones that we have in the works right now.
Another thing that I found out mainly from learning from Andre Chaperone from TinyLittleBusinesses.com is you want to have a demographic where they have a strong emotional need. They have an urgency to buy it. Like maybe, let's say, for example, maybe premenopausal women that want to lose weight. So a lot of women, they have the fear that once the hormones kick in, they won't be able to lose weight. You also want something that you can sell back-end products to. So if you sell something, let's say to somebody, a smoker, they quit smoking, nothing else you can sell them. You can still do some good stuff. And the other thing that I think a lot of hypnotherapists, when they make a product for the general public, they have way too much jargon. Mm-hmm. Like, NLP especially, we have our own language, and I'm sure with some of your products that you try to keep as much of the industry jargon out of it.
Oh yeah, you always should write as if you're writing to an 8th grader. Someone who has a very basic understanding. Because, first of all, Einstein even talked about this. If you understand something, then you're able to talk about it in a simple way. You don't have to use the jargon because you really do understand it. Sometimes jargon is an excuse for not really understanding. I'll just confuse them with the stuff and see if they don't ask you questions because they don't want to feel dumb.
Yeah.
If you really understand something, say it in a simple way. People respect that. I always respect it. And that's really what sells.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple. I know I was reading, I think it's John Carlton. John Carlton, copywriter, I think was talking about keep it really simple. Another person, actually having a brain fart, was Perry Marshall. Was basically I think he would write a sales letter, give it to his kids. If his kids couldn't read it, he's like, I'm not going to do it because you want it.
Great test, as long as they're in 8th grade or around there, yeah.
Which is, if you think about it, which is sad, the educational system in the U.S. is not that good.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not hard to find people in the 8th grade level, even if they're beyond 8th grade.
I've known quite a few people.
With my doctorate in education, I can attest to that. Unfortunately, the education system in America needs a lot of work.
And the one thing that I like about the change work that we do, that we can help people get over the fears. Remember, I use the NLP spelling strategy for I think it was my niece years ago. She had a hard time reading. I could tell because her eyes were jumping all over the place. And just within like a 15-minute session, she was able to. It was miraculous for her. I tell a lot of people that hypnosis isn't magic, but the effects will or can seem magical.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if someone stops smoking, for example, that seems magical to them. One day they love cigarettes, the next day they hate them. How did that happen? So sometimes that does open them up to other possibilities, and the change can be very dramatic.
I've also found that sometimes it might be better to have the change be a little gradual, because if we're put into something too quick, like if you're jumping a bathtub of ice water, you're going to jump out right away. Sometimes you might want to ease into it a little bit.
Yeah, one of the guys who works for me, actually, he smoked, and he used my stop smoking recording. He stopped smoking, and it was like that. It was just too dramatic for him. He had no urge to smoke, but he didn't understand why he wasn't smoking, so he was tempted to go back to it. It was like a disconnect to him. So sometimes, it might be better to turn the water up slowly.
Yeah, that little bit of cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
If you look above this video or below it, you'll see a link to his website, stevegjones.com. What kind of giveaway do you have on your Steve G. Jones website?
We have a free recording to access your inner millionaire. So, as I mentioned every time, ever since I've been on the Millionaire Matchmaker, people know that I'm a millionaire now, and they know that I know how to get there. So we created a product to help people change their mindset and to start thinking like a millionaire and to move toward that. So it's a free download. You might as well get it.
All the hypnotists looking at this, I've talked to a lot of hypnotists that believe, like, I'm in change work. You know what I'm talking about. They have this feeling like marketing is bad. I look at it this way: if you don't market yourself, you can't help people. Let's say if you have somebody that maybe there's a potential client that has diabetes that needs to quit smoking that might die. If you don't market, you're basically doing a disservice to your clients.
Yeah, you could be. It's like these musicians. They say the best musicians are these guys who sit in their bedrooms and play guitars and just tear it up, but they don't have the gusto or whatever it is to go out in public. They hide that. Why would you hide something so awesome from the world? Get it out there and help others.
Definitely. Steve, it's been awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, do me a favor. Below this video, you'll see a email box. You want to put your name, email, and you get a bunch of free recordings. And I will talk to you soon. Aloha.